Hello, good afternoon. It is 1 p.m., the 2nd of April 2018. In Nigeria, we're celebrating holidays. It is Easter Monday. I do not know a nation that loves holidays like Nigeria. So we are celebrating Easter Monday and people are at home. But I understand that in England, they have a bank holiday. So at least those people at home, but in America, understand they have to go to work. They do not understand holidays like we Nigerians do. Anyhow, that is by the way. I hope you all had a pleasant weekend. The weekend started from Friday last week. Friday was Good Friday, and on Friday, I did put up a post that verses and paragraphs was in transit and we would not be transmitting that day. And we'll be back. I offered my apologies. But apparently many people did not see. They didn't see it until maybe over the weekend. So I'm very sorry for anyone who wanted to tune in on Friday and you didn't see me. Hey, good see Black Ebony. Good to have you on the show. Thank you for tuning in. Today, I want to talk about a topic which, when I first started this broadcast at the beginning of March, I had talked about it, but then I did not have as much listeners as I have now, and I thought it's necessary to repeat. The thing I want to talk about is words that can ruin your sentence. People have different names of describing them. Some people call them crutch words. Crutch words are words that help, like a crutch when you have an injured foot, your ankle, your leg is hurt or injured, you are given a crutch to help you. And that is the same thing with crutch words. Crutch words help you when you are speaking. Some people use crutch words to emphasize a point, but it has now become Evelyn Obaho. Good to have you, and Evelyn is watching from London. Evelyn, shout out to you. Thank you for tuning in today. Today we're talking about words that can ruin sentences. Some people use those words so much they become word offenders. They are also called crutch words too. And now these are words that people use regularly in your regular everyday speaking. Some people use them when they're making presentations. And for people who are making presentations, when you use too many of these crutch words, it becomes annoying. So we're talking about crutch words, and one of my very first crutch words is the word, actually. Many people like using actually. Actually is meant to signify something that exists in reality, but is more often used as a way to add punch to a statement. Say, actually, I was just coming from the bus stop when I ran to my friend, and actually, I did not know I was going to meet the person. Actually, I did not have. And then by the time you use actually more than 2 times in a sentence when you're speaking, becomes offensive, and you have become a word offender. So actually is one of those words that can ruin your sentence if you use it too often. Then the next series of words, so many people use them. So many of us are guilty of them. O, and usually it is perfectly natural, when you're chit-chatting with your friends during an informal conversation, to use Nigerians will use but if you use it occasionally during a chit-chat, it's not as offensive as when you are making a presentation. And you're making, the people who are listening will now consider that this person is not actually prepared. Like I said, it's natural to use those words, perfectly natural to use those words during an informal chit-chat with friends for a brief moment, because you're trying to formulate your thoughts, you're trying to get your thoughts together. And so you're using the words But if you're making a speech, you're making a presentation, it becomes absolutely annoying. Now, another crutch word that many of us use, well. We use the word well. Well, you see, I got up late this morning, and because I got up late this morning, well, I couldn't get transport on time, well, and people keep on using well. Many of us are guilty of using these words. I used to be a member of the Toastmasters International, and we always used to have speeches. You'll be asked to make a speech presentation, and then in the course of your speech, people will be counting how many crutch words you use, and at the end we always had someone who was a crutch word winner. Now, another crutch word or a word that can ruin your sentence is the word so. It signals to listeners that the speaker is nervous and unfamiliar with giving presentations. When you're using the word so the boy he ran away. So when we're talking about, let's say for instance you're making a presentation and you keep on using the word so you see, it is very necessary for us when you are baking not to put the gas too high. So if you put the gas too high, so the thing will get burnt. And so many of us are guilty of using the word so, but these are crutch words that can ruin your sentences. Then there's the word literally. Literally is an adverb used to describe an action that occurs in a strict sense. Now it is used for emphasis. Some people, if they don't use literally in their sentence, they do not think that they have spoken. Literally speaking, I am so angry that person got literally. Dano Koje, I can see you. Shout out to you. Good to have you on this program for the very first time. I'm glad you're watching today. Today we're talking about words that can ruin sentences. And we talked about a couple of them. We talked about actually. Actually is one of the words that can ruin your sentence if you use it too much. They're also called crutch words. You know, a crutch that is given to people when they have injured themselves and to help them to walk. So words that you use when you are talking or you are speaking and maybe you've run out of words or you are trying to formulate your thoughts or your ideas, these are called crutch words. We've talked about actually, we've talked about literally, well, so. The Nigerians, they have one. Sure, you understand? Do you get me? Nigerians, they use that a lot. Do you get me? Do you understand? These are crutch words because maybe the person is trying to formulate their thoughts, one, or for emphasis sake. Do you get me? Some people, they use this do you get me in a statement more than 10 times, becomes so annoying. Do you get me? Sure, you understand? Abi, ko, ka, fa, abi, depending on what part of the country you come from in Nigeria, some of these words, they creep into your conversation. Then another crutch word is look. You see, then I put like 3 now in one sentence. Look, you see, the other day, look here, I do not like what I did. Look, this thing that you are doing. People use the word look a lot. When you use it once or twice, it's okay. But by the time you keep on using it more than 10 times in a statement, especially when you're making a presentation, then it becomes offensive and you should not be using those words. Then another word are these like when you want to show when a compliment is needed, or you want to express delight at something fantastic, awesome, great, super. But when you use it too often, that is okay, awesome. Now we're going to go to the beach. Fantastic. Oh, that is super great. We're just using these words that are okay in their own right, but by the time you keep on using them too often, then they become annoying. Then there's the other word, honestly. That one, I know Nigerians, we are guilty of honestly speaking. I didn't want to come. Honestly speaking, the traffic was honestly. But for the fact that I knew I was coming to collect money, honestly, I would have stayed at home. Honestly, that one used a lot. And then one of the most famous is seriously. Seriously, what you did was very, very wrong. Seriously, if I knew that she was going seriously, I wouldn't have come. If I knew that was what was going to happen, I wouldn't have come. These are some of the words and that seriously is one of the most famous crutch words that we have in our lexicon, both in England, all over the world, and most especially in Nigeria. Another one again is totally. I totally forgot. I totally did not believe that this man could do this to me. I totally regret. Just keep on using the word totally, and you keep on using totally until the people becomes flat, dull, and uninteresting because you have overused the word totally. Another one again that we use, oh, that's Jennifer. That's my cousin's wife, and she's watching all the way from California. Jennifer, it's good to have you. I am talking about words that we use in our sentences that over time, when you use them too often, they become flat, dull, and uninteresting. We just talked about the word totally, we talked honestly, literally, actually, and now we're talking about the word basically. Basically is used to signal truth, simplicity, and confidence, but too often the word is used in the context of things that are far from basic. Basically, that boy, what he did was wrong. Basically, I think that I would prefer to eat the rice and the plantain. Basically. Then, there is the word again, essentially. You have the words really. People keep on using the word really, and then very. Really, really good. Very, very good. Like, just. The thing is that going to that supermarket, it is not very easy because the way, honestly speaking, is literally and actually very, 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 very far. You see, I've used like almost 5 or 6 of these crutch words in one sentence. Then I know that there are some people who like using for what it's worth. For what it's worth, I think I will just go ahead. I didn't want to go to this party, but for what it's worth, so that I will not be considered rude. For what it's worth, I think I will just go ahead to the party for what it's worth. Then there's also the word obviously. Oluwafunto Onifade, welcome. I guess I now know. I think you are watching from either somewhere in Scotland. Happy Easter to you too, Oluwafunto. Good to have you. Today we're talking about crutch words that you can use that can ruin your sentence, or when you use them too often, over time they become dull, uninteresting, and familiar. Words like honestly, actually, literally speaking, basically, totally, seriously. Which words do you use, Oluwafunto? I'm sure you must use some of these words when you are speaking. You know, in their own right, it's perfectly natural to use some of you see, I'm already using I know, because I'm trying to formulate my thoughts while I'm talking to you. So these are some of the words that can ruin your sentence. Some of them are like basically. People keep on using the word basically, totally, seriously, actually, like. And then I'm talking about for what it's worth. I know that Nigerians like using that one. For what it's worth. I think this was a very good play. For what it's worth. I think, okay, you're in France. Oluwafunto, you're in France. Okay. Ça va? I'm talking about words. So then there's another one, obviously. Obviously, she didn't know who she was talking to. If not, she wouldn't have made that sentence. Obviously. If she really knew who she was talking to, like seriously, she's talking to me like that. When you're chit-chatting with your friends, informal conversation, that's okay. But when you're making a presentation, it begins to sound offensive to your hearers. If you're making a presentation, or you're presenting a paper, or you're presenting a show like this one, and you keep on using well, as you see, essentially like, okay, personally, okay, that's what you use. Personally, that's another one too. Personally. That's interesting. Oluwafunto, who is watching from France, says she uses the word personally. I don't even know the one. Me, I know that I like using fantastic, awesome. I think I borrowed awesome from my sister. You know, when something is going to say super. Oh, that's great, awesome. Seriously speaking, ça va bien et vous? Très bien. Is that correct? Très bien. I think I got it correct, right? Très bien. Okay, Oluwafunto is okay, I've used a crutch word because I'm trying to formulate my thoughts. It's perfectly natural in a chit chat, but if I'm making a presentation, it is not okay. Très bien, merci. Très bien, merci. I'm sure that's okay. Then another one is in a weird way. In a weird way, I did not understand where the man was coming from. In a weird way, it looked interesting. It sounded interesting, but in a weird way, it was a little bit offensive. And then there's another one, right? I think Nigerians will like using that one a lot. Nigeria, there's nobody who is not guilty of using crutch words because, like I said, they're perfectly natural when you just use them in a chit chat. But by the time you keep on, the one that I find very offensive Nigerians use, you get me, you get, do you understand? Sure, you get. And then depending on one part of the country, like if it's Yoruba, Lagos is a sure you get. Abi, in the north you say ko, ba. All right, now, as usual, I have my word of the day. And my word of the day for today is shavy. For those of them who should be watching from Scotland but are not watching from Scotland, I guess because they have a bank holiday, its origin is Scottish. Shavy, shavy, S-H-A-V-I-E, shavy, shavy. Let me see if I can hold it up and yes, shavy, that's the word. That's our word for today, shavy, shavy. And shavy means a trick or a prank. So you can play a shavy on your friend. Like many people would have had so many shavies played on them yesterday, April Fool's Day. When you play a trick or a prank, it is called shavy, S-H-A-V-I-E, S-H-A-V-I-E, and its origin is Scottish. It can also be used in the sense like a swindler. If you're a swindler, then you are a shavy, you be a shavyist, a shavyist. Anyhow, I'd also like to leave you with a powerful quote to inspire you to write. There are many people out there who would want to write. I think Dan Okoji, I hope you are still watching. I know you always like talk about writing. Shavy, no, S-H. S-H-A-V-I-E, not C. S-H-A-V-I-E. And my sister Eloho has come on. Eloho, do you know that this word has a Scottish origin? Shavy. And yes, shavy, S-H-A-V-I-E, and shavy means to play a trick or a prank. Eloho, so did anyone play a shavy on you yesterday, April Fool's Day? Eloho, my sister is watching from Edinburgh, which is in Scotland, and our word for today is a Scottish word, has a Scottish origin. And the word for today is shavy, S-H-A-V-I-E. And it means to play a trick or a prank. Now, I have a powerful quote to inspire you to write. Hello. Yes, it is. Really, yes. Did anyone play a shavy on you yesterday? Because yesterday, I won't be surprised. Okay. Yes. It is a Scottish word, has a Scottish origin. Shavy, S-H-A-V-I-E, and it means to play a trick or a prank. But in another sense, someone who is a swindler could also be called a should I call the person a shavyist? One who is a swindler. Now, a powerful quote to inspire to write. Eloho, you like writing. I think Dan Okoji, if you are still on, Dan Okoji loves writing too. So this is a powerful quote to inspire you to write. Reading for writers is like training for athletes. And you know what? For athletes to train because they want to be in top form, top shape. So if you want to be a writer, you got to read. And this program also encourages people to read. And this quote is written by Linda Supak, an American author of teen fiction. Her first novel, Seesaw Girl, was published in 1999. She has written 6 children's novels and 5 picture books. I'm coming behind her because I will soon publish my own first children's book. Blessing Jonas Onye, I guess you're watching from Kaduna. It's good to have you on the program. Oh, you are lucky, Luafunto. You didn't fall for any of the pranks. I'm sure you were on the alert yesterday. Yesterday, not only was it the 1st of April, it was the beginning of the month, beginning of a new quarter. And it was also April Fool's Day. Can you imagine? Anyhow, today, I'll just do a brief recap. We are talking about words that ruin sentences. I know Eloho, when I first started this program, I talked about it then, but I just felt that people who have come on now were not there. And I think since we all use crutch words a lot, it's necessary for us to talk about words that ruin sentences. So Blessing Jonas, when you were talking about words that ruin sentences and words that people use, we call them crutch words. Crutch words. My sister-in-law said she fell for 2 shavies yesterday. Oh my God. And you are there in Scotland and it is a Scottish word, shavy. She fell for 2. I know that. Know her. your son Nathan would have played one shavy on you, because he always likes teasing his mother. Anyhow, we've been talking about crutch words. Like a crutch, when you have an injury to your leg, to your foot, you use a crutch to prop you up. And in the same way, crutch words, they help you when you are speaking. They help you to fill in. Maybe you're trying to formulate your thoughts, or you've forgotten something, so you make use of crutch words. And some of the most famous ones you have: seriously, obviously, basically, literally, actually, in a weird way, right? And then, like I said, Oluwafunta said one of our own is personally. Some people use literally, actually, basically, seriously. Nigerians, they love using "do you get me?" You get me, right? And they must put right. You get me, right? Sure, you understand me. You understand me, Ko? If you are talking from the north, you understand me, Ko? Sure, you understand me, Abi? So these are crutch words, and some of us have got words that we use that always creep into our everyday speaking. And like I said, it's perfectly natural if you use some of them when you are chit-chatting with your friends in an informal way. But by the time you're making presentations, or like now I'm making a broadcast, and I keep on using this Rumena Amata, she's not prepared. But then again, when you use some of these words, they might sound nice at the first time, but after some time, a lot of, so is one of them. Oh, you are not there when I read so is also one of them. After so, let me even still read them out for you. You have totally, basically, essentially, really, very, like, is also one of them, like. Ngozi Januya, happy Easter to you. Good to have you watching today. Today I'm talking about, that's my sister, also from English department. So we're talking about words that can ruin your sentences when you are speaking. And I've just been mentioning some of them. We have actually, they always clip into your, crutch words that can ruin your sentences that you use for emphasis, or like when you're trying to gather your thoughts. So you have actually, there were many people that then you have well, so, literally, look is one of them too. Yes, okay, yes, so many of us use so. Yes, a lot say she uses so a lot, yeah. It's also a crutch word. Like I said, if it's during an informal chit chat, it's perfectly natural. But by the time it gets to creep into your presentation, because my sister Eloho is a radio on-air presenter. She owns a radio station, a Christian radio station. You ought to tune into it sometime. It's called Heart Song Live Radio, based in Edinburgh. So maybe she might be using a lot of these souls and everything. But if you're just chatting or gisting, it's okay. After some time, it becomes dull, flat, and uninteresting. Then, of course, Eloho, fantastic, great, awesome. I don't know whether you change it. Happy Easter, dear sis Ngozi. You have honestly, seriously is the most famous. Seriously speaking. Seriously, I did not like that. I don't know. Seriously, I totally, literally, actually, basically did not like what she was doing. I've used like about 5 or 6 of them in one sentence. People speak like that. And they do not know that these are crutch words that are helping them to emphasize. Yes, Ngozi, I'm happy you caught my broadcast today. And today we're talking about words that can ruin yourself. Which of the words do you use, Ngozi? Do you have a crutch word you use? One word like? There are so many here. Like, just, the thing is, for its word, obviously, in a weird way, right? And okay, Eloho say, but I don't notice it again, Eloho, like before. I don't know why I don't notice it again. My sister Eloho uses awesome a lot. And because of her, I've also used awesome myself too. I use fantastic. I like to use super myself too. Ngozi, what are crutch words you use when you are speaking, either emphasis or try and make a point? There are so many of them. Nigerians will like you get me, back. If it's from North, you get me. You get me. Do you understand? Do you understand me? I'm sure you understand. You know what I'm talking about, right? And Nigerians must always put right. So Ngozi, which ones do you use? I have a friend, Oluwafunta, watching from France, who says she uses personally. My sister Eloha, I know she uses awesome. She says she uses so also. So the rest of you who are listening, what other words do you use? Yes, I noticed it. You have tried. And when it comes on, it's delightful. It's the best way you use the word awesome, not so much like before, but that's good. You've tried. Thumbs up to you, Ella. And I will repeat again for those of you just coming on. We always have a word of the day, which I always put up later on my page on Facebook. So our word for today is Shavi. Shavi, Shavie, Shavie, and it is a Scottish origin, and it means to play a trick or a prank. And I asked if yesterday, which was April Fool's Day, how many of you had a Shavie played? My sister Eloho said she fell for 2 of them yesterday. Okay, Ngozi John, we are my friend and sister watching from Abuja, says she's guilty of using really, yes, that's one of the crutch words, and it depends on the way you use it. If you are using when we are gisting, that's okay, but if it is too repetitive, then of course. And then I read a powerful quote to inspire us to read, because to write. My sister is always talking about writing. I'm waiting for when she's going to. But me, I've written my book, and it's my publisher that is holding me up. But he has promised that this week he will let me know when he's going to bring it out. But this is a powerful quote to inspire you to write. Reading for writers is like training for athletes. You know what? When athletes train, they have the goal in mind, and they keep on training to build up their muscles, to build up their stamina, so that eventually on the day of the event, they can run to win. So also writers should read. When you read and read and read a lot. For me personally, aside from reading, because I write for children, I work for children, I like watching children's programs. I like watching children's programs because I want to know what goes on in their mind, so that when I'm writing, I want them to be able to read and enjoy my book. So for me, beyond reading, I also read children's books too. Beyond reading children's books, I also watch children's television programs, both foreign and local, to help. And I like talking with them a lot, so that helps to build up my repertoire, my lexicon, and my understanding of children's habits and beliefs. And that was written by Linda Supak, who is an American author of teen fiction. Her first novel, Seesaw Girl, was published in 1999. And she has written 6 children's novels and 5 picture books. So I'll be excited and happy to see that some of us watching this program, one day we just say, okay, see you, I've written my book, I've written so many poems, would you like to read my poems on your show? So, and for those, that's a crutch word. For those of you who are watching, if you like your poem to be read on this program, remember the program is verses and paragraphs and everything in between. Now, verses have to do with anything that's poetry that is in stanza form, either the Bible verses or poetry verses, and paragraphs has to do with prose. So if you would like us to read your poem or a short page from your book that you have written, please send it in and write. Now, I'm about to sign off. If you are watching this program, after it has been broadcast, you can go to my YouTube channel. To watch it. Oh, I can see 2 people are watching. Beverly is watching from Los Angeles. Beverly, hi. It's a long time since I last saw you, 1 year now. She's watching from Los Angeles, California. My in-law is watching. Samuel Uswazorara Tokore is watching from London. Good to have you on the show. I'm about signing off now. We've been talking about words that can ruin your sentences. They call them crutch words, and they're words like honestly, literally, basically, seriously, so, like, well, really, right, in a weird way, and so on and so forth. But I'm signing off now. I just leave you with our word of the day. Our word of the day is Shavie. Shavie is spelled Shavie, and it's of Scottish origin, and it means to play a trick or a prank. Yesterday was April 1st, normally called April Fool's Day all over the world, and many people always fall for April Fool's Day pranks. So how many of you had a Shavie played on you yesterday? And how many of you have your personal crutch words that always creep in when you are speaking? Anyhow, it's been good having you on the show. Thank you for everyone who tuned in from America, from France, from London, from Nigeria, Lagos, Abuja, Kaduna. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's do this again tomorrow at 1 p.m. Nigerian time. And if you would like to listen to this broadcast again, it's going to be on Facebook. And if you don't get it on Facebook, you can go to my YouTube channel. Just type my name, Erumena Amata, and you will be there. Thank you so much for watching. It's been great having you on the show. So see you at the same time. Yes, very good to see you. Love to everyone in the bell choir. Bye.